everyone, welcome to this video about some advanced technique exercises. I just came back from a short tour in the US, teaching at Django in June, some workshops in Denver and in Dallas, and it was great. Many great students, both violin and guitar. And what I noticed in the guitar workshops that many people are still struggling with right hand technique, especially guitar players that come from other styles of jazz or other styles of guitar playing, like rock or bluegrass. And that's the main thing they want to focus on, especially in the earlier workshops, is right hand technique. And how do you do all the downstrokes? How do you get the sound? And I made already quite a few videos about technique, but I have a series of exercises called advanced technique exercises. I didn't really talk about those exercises yet, but I lifted 3 of those exercises for this video because the 3 exercises train something very important. That is changing between a lot of different kind of strokes, like sweep picking or double downs, or an upstroke followed by a sweep. That's also quite complicated to keep all the notes even, because that's the problem. The main problem is to keep all the notes even. So if you play eighth notes, for example, swinging eighth notes, to keep all the notes with a consistent swing, right? If you're an alternate picker, it makes sense that, for example, the longer of the 2 eighth notes when you swing them is a downstroke, and then the shorter note is an upstroke. But with gypsy jazz picking, this can change. It can be in the middle of a sweep. It can be the other way around, like the long note on the upstroke and the short note on the downstroke. It can be a double down. Many different possibilities, and the combination of all of that, of course, shouldn't be audible, or the difficulty of combination shouldn't be audible to a listener. They should hear consistent swing, or when you play 16th notes, they should hear consistent 16th notes. So I picked 3 exercises that train combining different strokes, and also train coordination between the hands. And I will also show you how I practice that with a metronome. So the first exercise is a phrase, I think it's from A7 to D minor. But that's not important. It is just difficult to play at a fast tempo. It comes from the vocabulary of Stoffler Rosenberg, and you can see the lick. It's really a lick. It's from real repertoire, but I use it as a technique exercise. You will see it now on the screen, and let me just go through it and walk you through what I think you should pay attention to. So right there is a double down, right? From there to there, from the A to the G. And so the A is a half rest stroke and the G is a full rest stroke. So I don't want to explain that again, how that works. Just short, the half rest stroke you don't touch the next string, and the full rest stroke you do touch the next string. If you want to know more about that, I'll link a video under this video that explains it in detail. So you want to make sure that the A is a half rest stroke and the G is a full rest stroke. Also when you play it slowly. And again. Now here's a hammer-on, and of course the hammer-on should not be rushed. It should be the same length of notes as the other notes. And it's easy to rush a hammer-on because you don't have to pick and you just hammer on that note too fast. Now comes a diminished arpeggio. So there's 2 things. First of all, it starts with a sweep, then alternate, then an upstroke followed by a sweep. That is a difficult move for many people because you have to play an upstroke that's past a string, in this case the G string, and then sweep the B and the E string. That's one thing. It's easy to rush that kind of pattern because the sweeps are easy to play and you rush them. So be very careful to kind of hold back. And another thing is that your left hand goes from a closed position, which means 1 finger per fret, to an open position, which means there's a gap between your first and second finger. If you want to know more about that, I will link a video talking about closed versus open position. So it's closed here, goes to open, and then my hand closes again. And there's a bunch of half to full rest strokes. In the tab you will see that the half rest strokes, they are red. So then you know which strokes are the half rest strokes. So the whole exercise will sound like this slowly. 3, 4. Now, to practice this, you should always use a metronome, of course. So I do it in different ways. I would start with click on beat 1 and 3, but let's skip that. Let's go immediately to beats 2 and 4. And this is at tempo 100, but I have an app where you can isolate beats. So if you just have a normal metronome, you can put it on 50 and then treat these clicks as 2 and 4. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, digga 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 D, 3, 4. Like that. So then you could move the tempo up gradually until you probably will hit around 130. If you can do this exercise at 130, you've come a long way. So let me try that. 1, 2, 3. And of course, you could move this exercise up the neck and start maybe on the 5th fret. To see how it feels on a different place of the guitar. Okay, the second exercise is another phrase from a solo of Stochelo. It's from his solo on Bossa Dorado. And you'll see the phrase on the screen now. It sounds like this slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. This again trains many difficult combinations of strokes. It starts with this, where you have a hammer-on embellishment. Stochelo starts every phrase with his first finger like this. You can do that. I prefer the fingering that's on the screen. And then comes this phrase. So this upstroke followed by a sweep. And again, it's very difficult to train. So one way to practice it is to practice this little thing as triplets. So you play 1, 2, 3, 4. So from the low E string, which is a downstroke, and then the G sharp is up, sweep, F up, sweep, D up, 1, 3, 4. And loop it. Also notice that when I press the first finger down after the fourth finger is still down, so you get a kind of a ringing arpeggio sound. And then the same. You could even press them down together at the same time. But it's pretty difficult to do when you do it fast, so that's not necessary, as long as you keep the fourth finger down. And here the third finger. So you loop it, 3, 4. And you can do the same thing with the next part. the trick is to make this sound really even. So it doesn't matter if you're sweeping or upstroke and then a sweep, it should all sound like even triplets. Almost as if you're alternating. So now let's play this thing in the rhythms that are written. So in 60s notes, 3, 4. So there you train this well-known gypsy jazz technique where you sweep 3 notes on the highest 3 strings and 1 upstroke. Again, you want to make that sound very even. You don't want to sound it like this. No. And it's all closed position, so there's no open or wide position. So let's play that with a metronome on 100, only beats 2 and 4, or you can use metronome on 50 and then treat every click as 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's too difficult to do it with 2 and 4, start with 1 and 3. And then again you want to bring it up to 130 if you're really brave on 40. Let's do 130. 1, 2, 3, 4. You will find it's extremely difficult to play this lick or this exercise with even notes. It's super easy to rush the sweeps, the short sweeps, to rush them. So you will play ahead of the metronome beat. So my advice is to practice it very slowly at first and only go up a speed once you're comfortable. And of course I'm starting at 100, but you could start at 60 if it's necessary. Okay, and the last exercise is I combine 2 phrases from the theme of Made for Wesley. And it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. The interesting thing is it's the same lick twice, but the other one is in the higher octave and the picking changes. So that might mess you up in the beginning, but just take it slowly and be very aware of what you're doing. So again, there is this tricky slide. Move my whole hand, don't move your finger like this. Now move your hand, because I want to keep my hand in closed position for now. And I want to go to open right now. And it's all alternate. It starts with the sweep. Important to realize, it starts with the sweep. So sweep and then alternate. And up here, it starts the same, sweep, open position, but now I have to sweep there too. But you want to make the phrases sound the same, right? The same rhythmic position. Let's start it with the metronome. Let's go back to tempo 100. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's start it at tempo 130. Of course, don't move up from 110 to 130 in one go. Just go up slowly, maybe 5 beats at a time. And again, this is a metronome I can turn off and on and off beats. So if you don't have a metronome like that, then choose half of this tempo. So 130 would be 65 then. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And now if you're brave, you could try all 3 exercises at 1:30, which is of course difficult to do without mistakes. So I'm just gonna try it and see if we can do that on camera. Probably not. 1, 2, 3. It was okay, could be better, but it's very good exercise for your right hand and the left hand coordination. Play them together. Just make sure that you're very aware of the pick strokes. When are you sweeping? When are you alternating? When are you doing double downstroke? And that you're very aware of when you are changing from close to open position. And then you could use these exercises, for example, as a warm-up when you have a gig, right? First start slowly with the metronome and gradually bring it up to 1:30. And if you can do these exercises at 1:30 or even 1:40, then your technique is in a really good shape. Okay, so far this lesson. I'm leaving the day after tomorrow, no, the day after that, to the festival in Fontainebleau, formerly known as the Samoa Festival, and I'll be there just hanging around the campsite, jamming with everyone who's there. You'll see me walking around with Dennis Chang because we're staying in the same house. So if you see me, if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask me that question, and I'll try to shoot some more videos there, maybe some YouTube live. Keep this channel, keep checking this channel, but probably you'll get notification. And if you're not getting notifications, please hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe so you get notifications. And if you want to do a little bit more, you can always check out my Patreon and support me there. But of course you don't have to. You can also just watch these videos for free and like the videos. That's important, and subscribe. Okay, I'll see you all next time. Bye.